Hello everyone, welcome. This is Steve Suffalotto from Erie Community College near Buffalo, New York. And in this video I want to talk to you about folding carton packaging printing and specifically about hair coloring. So if you think about hair coloring, when a woman or a person buys this package, you're kind of like setting the expectation about what the color of this hair should be. So if they apply this to their hair and they don't get that same color, they may complain or switch to a different company. So it's very important that the color here be very accurate. So in some previous videos we've talked about this concept of color variation. We said color can be accurate, meaning it matches the proof or it matches the OK sheet. We want the color to be uniform spatially over space from left to right, top to bottom, and diagonal corners. We want the color to be consistent from the beginning of the run to the end of the run. We want the color to be repeatable from multiple runs this week, next month, next year. And we want them to be everything, all the above, so we want the color to be predictable. So here is a folding carton. It has 2, 4, 6 up. We have gray balance patches in here. We have a background of gray balance. This job is 4-color process, KCMY, and a spot color purple for the background here. So again, these are called die position numbers. Die position 1, die position 2, die position 3, die position 4, die position 5, die position 6. So the customer doesn't care if you're looking at the left-hand side of the sheet or the right-hand side of the sheet, or if you're looking at the front gripper side or the back tail side, or if you're looking at diagonal corners. All they care is that the color is always accurate, uniform, consistent, and repeatable. Okay, so look at all these different SKUs. Stocking kit unit. Here's a different hair color. This one was a light golden blonde. Again, what we're doing here is we're printing 4-color process plus this 5th color background. We're using a 3-color neutral here with a 1-color black. So we're doing a 50, 40, 40 against a 53 black. In theory, these two should match, in theory. And we have our gray balance patches in here too for measuring dot gain. Here's a different SKU. So these are printed on different dates. This sheet was printed on 1/9/13. This one was printed on 5/8/13, and this one was printed on 8/7/8/13. Again, the customer just wants to make sure that no matter when these are printed, that they always match. I would even say they don't even care what printing press. So at this particular printer, they had 4 presses to choose from. We tried to usually schedule this on the best press because we wanted the best results. Here's another different SKU. Okay, now these are all the same image up. Because of efficiency and productivity and scheduling purposes, you can do something called a combination gang run. The combination is sometimes called a combo run. So here we're mixing 2 different items. So you got to be very careful about this, because when you print a press form with only 1 item on, out, or up, there's no opportunity to mix these when you die cut them or glue them, because the entire skid, pallet, load will go over to the die cutter and to the folder. But when you run a combination combo gang here, you got to be very careful that you don't accidentally mix these 2 items, because they're identical in size and shape. They're just different in their graphics. So to help prevent mixing, on the glue flap we have a barcode with a different barcode number. So as these go through the gluer, if you have any of these accidentally mixed, it'll stop the gluer. Yes, very important that you don't mix. In the pharmaceutical industry, you may not be allowed to do any combination gangs because the consequence of mixing medicines would be very dangerous to the end user or the consumer. Okay, so here's another example where we have 2, 4, 6 out, same repeating pattern here, KCMY with the purple, 3 color gray, 50, 40, 40 against a K53, and different color OKs here, 7, 8, 13, 5, 9, 13, 1, 11, 13. This is just one on up, but when we get to this sheet, we've mixed them, combination, combo, gang. We have to make sure we don't have different barcodes here for the gluer so that we don't mix them. Okay. A different SKU, stock kit unit. Now, let me just see something here. Okay. Plus R means it was 2 red. It's plus red. Can you see how this hair in here is much redder than it is over here? Okay. Another SKU. Combination gang. One on, one out, one up. One on, one out, one up. Combination gang. Again, you have to have different bar codes in the glue flap so you don't get any accidental mixing at the gluer. That would cause a rejection. 100% inspection. Okay, this is by itself. This is by itself. Look how blue this background looks compared to the gray balance. So here's a different form which has a little better gray balance here. That black is dark, that black is light. This 3 color is gray but lighter. This 3 color is bluish. Different SKU. Different SKU. Different SKU. Combination gang. So I have this sheet scored so that you can do a comparison. Okay. Black density here was 168, cyan density was 119, magenta density was 118, and yellow was 95. Here's the PMS purple. I think that's a PMS 267. Dot gains at the 50% at 175 LPI, K25, cyan 12, magenta 18, yellow 10. I'm not too concerned about the black being too dark because black has no effect on the hue of a color. Black would just make the color darker or dirtier, right? So the concept is if the densities are correct and the dot gains or the tone value increase, TVI is correct, this 3 color gray should match the 1 color black. Okay, again, combination gang, you have to have different barcodes here. So one of the quality control QC procedures we used was to take a sheet, actually a sheet at the top of the load and a sheet at the middle of the load, cut those and fan them out or shingle them out. Some people call this a quality board. And what you looked for was consistency, because this is sheet after sheet after sheet after sheet. This is over time. So we're looking at the purples to make sure the purples look the same. That one looks a little light here. That's a little dark. That's a little light. We're looking at the skin tone, flesh tone, and we're looking at the hair color here. And then based on this, we could say, we could flag the loads or tag the loads for further inspection, sorting, or culling. All right, so this is a common quality control QC or QA, quality assurance technique. And then we have a different layout here. Okay, did you see that? We have a smash in the blanket. It's got a ding or a dent or a smash, or maybe there's an accumulation of powder or dust or ink there. So we have to make sure we fix that. Different SKU.